Welcome back everybody to another champion concept video. Today we're going to be going over a rework I did for Fiddlesticks, and as always, if you like these sort of videos, please like, subscribe, let me know what champions you would like to see me rework in the future, and maybe I'll do those. So with Fiddlesticks, I wanted to keep his core identity as a AP sort of hidden jungler who had a lot of AP ability, and wanted to make him slightly, more up to date than what he actually is right now. So if you guys can see here, I wanted to, you guys can pause this if you guys want at any point. This is just sort of a breakdown of, what I think his abilities do well, what I think needs to be changed, and kind of what I'm going to be doing with the actual overhaul of his kit. Fiddlestick's new passive is called Delusions. Fiddlestick stands in a brush for 3 to 1.5 seconds, creating a decoy of himself. This will last 15 to 25 seconds, and allows Fiddlesticks to apply different ability effects to his clone, allowing them to cast an effect. Now, these effects do not do damage, but they do have some sort of ailment to them, which we'll discuss in other abilities. This gives Fiddlesticks a lot of versatility while he's in the jungle. He's able to throw one down per brush, so you cannot put more than one in a bush, but it allows him to really gain map control and have different areas where he can operate on a sufficient level, very similar to Teemo mushrooms or Shaco boxes, giving him just some more tools to make him a very strong early and mid-game jungler when it comes to being counter-ganked, as well as just trying to grab objectives. Fiddle's first ability is called Terrorize. This is very similar to his old Q called Terrify. This ability still has a fear effect, but instead of it being a point and click mechanic, this now has a cone radius that you have to aim as a skill shot for it to be effective. This ability also has two different functions to it, both of them still fear, but they're a little bit different. So the normal cast, Fiddle will conjure a field of nightmares for 1 second, then quickly shatter that field, fearing all targets caught inside the zone. Has a very similar effect to how Urgot's Q has a 1 second cooldown and then it explodes, dealing damage. This ability also will fear and deal magic damage to minions and monsters, not champions, just minions and monsters, granting him some very good wave clear in lane as well as better jungle clearing. The new cast, however, is when you cast this ability on a Fiddle clone. The clone will be modified with Terrorize, and the next target who walks near the brush will be feared. This effect will have a much longer fear effect than Fiddlesticks' normal cast. I did this, I know it's very similar to Shaco boxes, but this gives him some unique ability to play around, using his fear sort of as a proxy ward, than just, walking in and fearing a bunch of people. Having the ability, I feel, deal damage to minions and monsters as well, gives him some better wave clear so he can clear these jungles a little bit better, and can get, some deep vision down and become more of a counter jungling presence. So Fiddlesticks' second ability is known as Drain. I did not change the name. I didn't really change the effect itself. I just more so added some things to it. I felt like this is a very good ability for Fiddlesticks. So, as you know, Fiddlesticks point and clicks on a target, and he stands in one spot, channels, and heals himself while draining their HP. So this is still the case. However, now, there's a few different effects that this has. One, if Fiddlesticks targets a champion or a target, minion or monster who is feared, any other targets around that particular target who are also feared will now have Drain attached to them as well. This can attach up to 4 targets, and it gives him 4 different avenues of healing. This is very, very, very strong for team fights, especially when you're using his R. You go in, throw your Q down. If you can stun 2 or 3 targets and then you can drain off of all of them, this makes this extremely powerful. Makes Fiddlesticks a very strong teamfight champion. Also, if you use this ability on a Fiddle clone, the Fiddle clone will drain movement speed from the first target who proxies near a bush. So it doesn't take away any healing, more so just slows them down, making it sort of a speed trap. Fiddlestick's third ability is called Flock of Harbingers, not to get confused with his old ability known as Dark Wind. So we completely removed the old ability, but have added some very cool effects to this new one to make it fit very well into his kit. Fiddlesticks summons a flock of harvinging crows, blinding targets who are caught inside of their circle, about a 500 range, sort of as an example range. This ability can be recasted as a skill shot, which will disperse the crows into a line targeting an area. If there is an enemy champion in that area, the first enemy champion hit will be dealt damage over time by these crows, and also silence for their duration of the ability. If Fiddlesticks casts Flock of Harbingers on a clone, the clone will be granted the ability to explode a flock of crows from its center, silencing all nearby enemies. This now brings us to Fiddlesticks' ultimate, known as Crowstorm. This is a very similar effect to his old ultimate, but with some added bonuses to it. So, the first big thing, this ability now has Dark Wind as an added bonus to this ability. How this will work, Fiddlesticks will manifest dark crows that will detach from the circle that he puts down that does AoE damage, and instead of silencing targets, however, this new Dark Wind effect will apply Dread as a semi-debuffing effect. When Dread stacks 3 times, which is when at least 3 of the 3 different crows, or the same crow, bounces on this target, Dread will activate, which will then fear that target for a few seconds. The Dread fear is much, what's the best word for it? Is not as long as his standard fear, but it still is very good to have. Does do some just decent CC, maybe slowing a target down just long enough for you to escape or for you to catch up with them and apply your real fear. This does still deal damage to minions, monsters, but this will prioritize enemy champions to bounce to first over anything else. Casting this ability on a clone, however, will allow the clone to cast a fake Crowstorm, then vanishing into thin air. And that is my Fiddlesticks rework. Hopefully you guys like this sort of idea for Fiddlesticks. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more of this type of content. Like I said before, this will be my last champion rework for a little bit of time. I'm gonna make some new content, maybe work on some different champion ideas, who knows. But that will do it for me in this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you.